Hello and welcome to your next 15-minute workout. We're going to continue with our series of the Pilates principles, moving on to number 3, which is control, which will require breathing and concentration. So I've chosen a couple of handfuls of exercises that do create some momentum, so it's easy to kind of lose control for the exercise, and then how in Pilates, how we allow for some momentum, but some control as well. So come to lying on your back. Legs are extended, hands are down by your sides, you're in neutral pelvis. If you need a moment, you can make the triangle with your hands. Find your neutral pelvis, and then place the hands back down by your sides. The left foot will be flexed with the kneecap pointed up towards the ceiling, and the left leg is pressing down into the mat. And float the right leg up, either straight or slightly bent is fine. We're going to have a pointed toe for today. We're doing small leg circles to start. So you're going to take the right leg cross a little bit over to the left, about the width of your mat. Circle it down towards your left foot, over to the right side of your mat, and then stop where you started. So you do create momentum on the circle, but come back up and stop. Using a strong exhale on the circle to activate your core and create stability. Try one more circle. Now reverse the direction. Take the leg over to the right, circle it down around to the left, and stop where you started. The stopping is the important part, and watching that you're not going too far to the right and to the left, that you lose your neutral or pelvis rock side to side. Couple more, and last one. And then lower the right leg back down. Switch legs, flexing the right foot with the kneecap and toes pointed up, pressing the right leg from the gluteal fold down to the mat. Left leg's either bent or straight with pointed toes. Take the left leg over to the width of your mat to the right, and exhale, circle down and come back to where you started. And draw your navel in on every exhale. 2 more. And then reverse the direction. Three more. Last one. And then lower the leg back down. Now for the next exercise, we're going to practice the modifications first. So come up to sitting. We're going to do roll up and roll down. We're going to start with roll up. See how that goes, and then you can decide if you want to try roll up and roll down or just roll down. So you're going to have your knees bent to start from one modification with your hands behind your knees. Also, too, if you have a back injury, so a disc or vertebral injury or osteopenia or osteoporosis, I recommend doing the modifications. Do not do roll up. So sitting up tall to start, draw your navel in towards your spine to send your waist back towards the mat, and stop where your elbows are straight. Your hands are there for help, for some support, and stay here and breathe. Shoulders are relaxed away from your ears. And then if you need the assistance of the hands, using the abdominals and the arms, bring yourself slowly back up to sitting. Try that modification again. Rolling back until the elbows are straight. Stay here and breathe. 2 more breaths. Breathing into the ribs. Cinch in your waist and draw your navel in towards your spine. And then sit back on top of your sit bones. Another version with either bent knees or straight knees. The hands are reaching forward. Draw your navel in towards your spine and go about halfway back. Finding about that same position and stay here and breathe. So the control of trying not to fall backwards, not allowing the legs to lift up away from the floor, and keeping the belly in as you hang out back here, and then sit back up. Another option is just to do roll down, and then we'll sit up and do roll down again. So not doing roll up. So sitting tall, either with bent knees or straight knees, flexed feet, heavy legs into the mat. You're going to slowly roll down, and yes, gravity could make this a fast movement, but you're going to keep it slow and controlled, keeping the belly in towards your spine. And then roll over, sit yourself back up, and try that again. Once again, bent knees or straight knees. Whatever you can do with a straight neutral spine. Keeping the legs heavy into the mat. Slowly lower down one vertebra at a time. Keeping the belly drawing in. You're going to get a little shaky. So that's the modification. You may continue with the modification or try roll up and roll down. So here's roll up. Fingertips are reaching towards the ceiling, shoulders are relaxed. Take a breath in as you exhale. Send the arms over your head. Inhale, bring your fingertips to the ceiling and pause for a moment as you breathe in. And bring your chin to your throat, and then you're going to peel your spine slowly up off of the mat. And then finish either sitting or some techniques keep you in the curled position. I like to find a nice neutral spine before I roll back down. And then draw your navel in towards your spine and bring your vertebra back one at a time. So you bring the tailbone, find the sacrum on the mat, then the waist, which is the hard part, and then the thoracic spine, and then you come back into neutral and repeat that. Send both arms over your head. Bring the fingertips to the ceiling and pause. Bring your chin to your throat, lift your head, lift your shoulders, and peel your spine. Bringing the waist down to the mat and then peeling the waist off. Finding your little C curve here. And come up to sitting 2 more times. Navel into your spine, chin into your throat, and lower down 1 vertebra at a time. Send both arms over your head. Bring your fingertips back up. Pause for a moment as you inhale. And bring the chin to your throat and then exhale to roll all the way up. Sit up tall. And then slowly lower down 1 vertebra at a time, keeping the legs heavy into the mat. And there is roll up. Bend both knees. We'll give our abdominals a short break. You're going to have your feet in line with your sit bones, about 3 inches apart. And bridge your hips up. So lifting up into neutral bridge. From here, from your gluteal folds, lift your pelvis an inch and lower your pelvis an inch. So a relatively simple bridging exercise, but it's very easy to do these repetitions a little too fast. So nice and slow up, and then don't let those hamstrings and glutes relax completely as your pelvis lowers. They still have to be working. They're what's doing the lifting and the lowering. Couple more times. And then lower your pelvis back down with those hamstrings. That glutes are still working all the way down to the bottom. Only at the bottom do they get a break, because you want to control the movement of the bridge back down onto the mat. Again, bridge your hips back up. Step into your left foot, bring your right leg into tabletop. From your left gluteal fold, lift your pelvis an inch and lower it an inch, and lift an inch and lower. And I find the hardest part instead of a bridge is the lowering, and not letting the hamstrings and glutes just give up and drop you to the floor. Couple more. And switch feet. Bring your left leg into tabletop. From your right gluteal fold, lift your pelvis an inch and lower an inch. Nice and slow and controlled. Lower your left foot, have weight back in both feet, and slowly lower your pelvis back down onto the mat. Next exercise, bring both legs into tabletop. We're going to do roll over, but first we're going to start with a modification. So you're going to flex your feet, lower your heels down, keeping the legs together. Lift the legs back up, pause at the top. Bring your navel to your spine. Imagine a zipper from your pubic bone to your navel, and you're going to peel your spine up off of the mat slightly and then lower back down. So you're trying to take your tailbone and your sacrum away from the mat, and then try that again. Heel slower, keep it neutral. You're still in neutral. Now you come into an imprinted spine. So the spine is down onto the mat, the waist is on the mat. Peel the tailbone and sacrum off and lower back down. Try that again. Lowering the heels and lift, and watch that you don't try to just tuck your knees into your chest, because that action will easily make the pelvis come off of the mat. You're thinking about your knees going up and over your head rather than into your chest. So your arms do some assisting. One more like this. Now you can either continue with this version or come to straight legs or almost straight legs. flex your feet. Keep the legs pressed together for our version for today. Lower both legs down towards the mat to about 45 degrees. Point the toes, lift back up and pause. And then exhale, peel the spine up. Remember, toes this time go up and over. And you're going to finish. And then roll over. The knees can be slightly bent. You can separate the legs if you need to. Our version today will be legs together if you can do it. Flex the feet and then slowly bring your spine back down to the mat. And repeat that. Exhale and lower. Point and lift and pause. And exhale, roll over. Flex the feet. And slowly lower down one vertebra at a time. Again, lower. Inhale and lift. Exhale, peel the spine up and over. Flex the feet. Try lifting the heels a couple of inches. Now roll down. So it makes it a little bit harder for the abdominals the further away the legs are from the body. One more. Point the toes and lift. And roll over. Now this time try to keep your legs close to your body so it's more of a hamstring stretch. And come to the stop at the top. And bend your knees and lower your feet. Now come on to your stomach. Legs will be wide, externally rotated. So heels are in, toes and knees are out. Arms are in cactus pose. So thumbs are in line with your eyes. Your navel's drawing in. Find your neutral pelvis on your stomach. Shoulders are away from your ears. Inhale, float your forehead off the mat. Lengthen your spine, lift your chin, lift your chest. Stay here, lift both arms. And lower. So the challenge on this one is keeping your mini swan, keeping your shoulders away from your ears as you lift both arms. 4 more. Last one. Lower your arms, lower down to your forehead. Now we're going to come up into full swan and swan dive. So I'm going to lift your chin and lift your chest. You can either stay here in mini swan if you'd like or continue all the way up. From here, you're going to drop gently onto your elbows, keeping this curve of the spine and the legs. You're going to lift your heels a little bit off the floor to activate those gluteal folds, rock forward, and come back up. And repeat that. So keeping that spine extension, create some momentum, and then stop that momentum. Again. And one more. And then lower back down to your elbows, your chest, and your forehead. Last exercise we're going to do that does create some momentum. You're going to sit back in child's pose, and from here imagine you're a human cannonball. And as you exhale, shoot yourself forward into a plank, and then lower your knees and sit back in child's pose. A modified version would be to keep the knees and the toes down, coming into your modified plank, and then sit back onto your heels. That is definitely a good option. Again, as you exhale, create that momentum using your breath, shooting yourself forward into a plank, lifting your sternum away from the mat, a long line from your head to your heels, and then slowly squat back, lower your knees, sit back in child's pose 2 more times. And 1 more. And sit back in child's pose. And you are all done. Thank you.